Now, 5 Labour mayors have gathered on a Leeds rooftop today amid reports that Rishi Sunak is planning to scrap the northern leg of HS2.
Well, they've made a plea together to the Prime Minister not to scale that project back, coming a day, of course, after Mayor of Greater Manchester, Andy Burham, told us here on GB News he would not rule out taking legal action against the government if it goes ahead with its plans. Let's go live to Leeds now and speak to our political correspondent, Katherine Forster. Katherine, not the Fab Four on the rooftop, but the Fab Five. Were they all singing from the same hymn sheet?
Yes, they really were. All Labour mayors, 4 from the north of England, plus Sadiq Khan, who'd come up from London, all absolutely singing from the same hymn sheet as regards HS2. They're really fundamentally wanting 3 things. First of all, for the line from Birmingham to Manchester to go ahead, because of course it's heavily rumoured it's going to be scrapped. Second of all, for the end in London not to stop at Old Oak Common near Acton in northwest London, but to actually go on into Euston. And then thirdly, Northern Powerhouse Rail, some have called that HS3. Of course, it doesn't exist yet. We've been hearing about it for many, many years. But fundamentally, that's the east-west route, which would connect up with fast trains, Liverpool through to Manchester, through to Leeds, and ultimately on to Hull and to Newcastle. And really a feeling unanimous that the government have to deliver. Let's have a look at what the Mayor of Greater Manchester, Andy Burham, had to say.
A simple but powerful message coming back from the Northern Mayors, but also the Mayor of London today, who's with us too, back to Westminster and Whitehall. And it's this: don't pull the plug on the north of England. Stop thinking you can treat people here like second-class citizens when it comes to transport.
Second-class citizens, that's what he says the Northerners are being treated like. The 16 million people in the north of England, and many of them are frankly tired of hearing pledges and promises on what may happen with transport in the north, and then nothing being delivered. But Sadiq Khan at the other end down in London also had plenty to say. Let's have a look at him.
These have been invited by the cross-party Transport for North to their board meeting this morning. We may be mayors from different regions, but we speak with one voice when we say we don't want cuts to High Speed 2. We see the benefits of High Speed 2 in relation to economic growth, in relation to increase in capacity, increase in connectivity, increase in speed. And it means we can have the same sort of transport links that France has, that Spain has, that Germany has. I'm worried that cutting High Speed 2 will cause huge damage to London and the South East.
A very united front there, Katherine, from those 5 Labour mayors. And the timing and the optics of this is all very significant, isn't it, when we think about the Conservative Party conference starting in Manchester on Sunday? Are they trying to influence a decision or an announcement to be made then or ahead of that time?
Well, yes, but it's seeming unlikely now that an announcement or decision will be made around the time of party conference, because, of course, how would that look to go to Manchester and announce that they're scrapping the HS2 connection to that city? Now, the government appeared to have been quite stunned by the backlash to this when it was first floated a week or so ago. It sounds like now they're saying that no decision has been taken. It's likely to be that we will get an announcement later in the year, a month or 2 on from conference. And of course, in the meantime, Conservative conference, there are train strikes. There are no trains running to Manchester the day before conference starts, or indeed the day that it finishes. So really all an almighty mess. But certainly these mayors are just saying, let us in the room. They're basically saying that they've been shut out, that there's huge economic benefits potentially to HS2 and Northern Powerhouse Railway, and consequently huge negative effects of it not going ahead if businesses have planned for years and years, assuming that this rail line is going to be up and running. They're saying, please just talk to us. We need to be in a dialogue with you. Don't make these decisions on your own.
And Katherine, of course, we had Andy Burham indicating yesterday certainly Greater Manchester might consider legal action. Are we getting the same from the other authorities as well, that there might be some combined legal action on behalf of all of them?
They're not really being drawn on that at the moment. I think the feeling is they're trying to be asking nicely, effectively. They don't want to be unhelpful, so they're sort of asking nicely, please talk to us, we want to be involved, we need to be involved, let's have a conversation. I think if the government don't move, if they do go on then to announce that they are pulling these sections of HS2, then potentially we could see a legal challenge, but I think we're certainly some way off that at the moment.
And to reflect, it is not just Labour authorities who are on the case, of course. A lot of very senior Tories are still pressuring Rishi Sunak ahead of this conference behind the scenes. Former chancellors, former prime ministers, former transport secretaries.
Yes, that's right. This really does seem to have united people from across the political spectrum. Boris Johnson is very concerned. George Osborne, who of course was a Northern MP and former Chancellor, he sort of championed the Northern Powerhouse, didn't he? Even David Cameron, the former PM, who tends not to involve himself in politics these days, has made it known that he thinks that this is a mistake. Even people like Philip Hammond as well. So not many people. William Hague, former Conservative Party leader, has said that this is the right decision to scrap it. But I would say he's very, very much in the minority.
Okay.